Broadcasting live. It's America's longest running talk show on computers. It's Computer America, bringing you the biggest names in technology with guest interviews, new products, and your emails. Listen live at computeramerica.com on any device around the world. Email the show at live@computeramerica.com or find us on social media. Be sure to check out our website for contests, giveaways, show notes, live video stream, podcasts, and more. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome everyone into the Computer America Show. We are the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers and technology turned podcast. Everyone, welcome into the program. Today on the show, we have computer and technology news. We have a ton of different headlines, not just headlines, but yeah, we're going to throw an H in there as well. And everyone, we hope that you enjoyed because we had a lot of fun picking these stories out. So we're going to try to keep this short, sweet, to the point. ComputerAmerica.com. That's where you'll find everything, past shows, future shows, everything you need to know right there in one place. Go ahead, check that out. You'll really enjoy it. Now, let's go ahead and get started with computer and technology news brought to you by Computer America. Oh yeah, we're crab raving. Okay, I think that for our first story that we're going to do is going to be, exactly, the first story that we're going to do is, okay, pretty big news. I didn't even know they had a Bethesda launcher. I guess I'm a little out of the loop because I don't play a lot of these games on the regular, but Bethesda had a game launcher. Emphasis on had. If you haven't paid attention, they are moving over to Steam entirely. And really, this marks one of the first times I've seen one of these independent game launchers move over to a completely different service. We've seen situations where, like Activision Blizzard, they've turned their Battle.net launcher into the Activision Blizzard launcher and put Call of Duty on it and things like that. But we've never really seen a Origin or Steam or Activision Blizzard or one of these game launchers completely transition to one of their competitors. And yeah, game transfers, that's really what it comes down to. So let's get into how this is going to work. They say that this week's announcement, FAQ, does not clarify exactly how license transfers will be handled, leaving us to assume that users will log in with their affected credentials to a website and receive a list of Steam redemption codes. In promising news, Bethesda insists that all games paid DLC and microtransaction currencies will transfer to the Steam versions seamlessly, so long as players log into a Bethesda.net account while in game. The same goes for Fallout 76 membership through any recurring subscriptions handled via BL or Bethesda Launcher will not auto-renew on April and beyond. Those users will have to set up a new subscription via Steam. So, of course, every major Steam competitor learned the hard way by fumbling features, rollout, and quality of life tweaks, but Bethesda's launcher in particular suffered because it asked PC gamers to move away from the mod-friendly ecosystem of Steam, which breathed life into Fallout 3 and Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and toward a closed, controlled, microtransaction-filled garden creation club. There you go. So, the publisher's shift away from an exclusive launcher towards Steam follows its parent company, Microsoft, making a similar move after Phil Spencer said that many of the company's first-party games will launch simultaneously on Steam and Windows Store. You know, this kind of means that potentially we could see things like StarCraft on Steam. And I think that, games like StarCraft, Warcraft, and other games like that, real-time strategy, they could get a whole new life on Steam. That's really cool. So Bethesda arguably has a certain business-minded reason to dump its launcher. Its propensity to accidentally launch DRM-free versions of the games on that interface, and this doesn't mean the game maker is done using its exclusive launchers, but yeah, we'll see. But still, it's definitely a good move. I think Steam has such a unique ecosystem and a unique strategy. I I like any move towards Steam. It's very, very good. So there you go. Story number 1. Story number 2. Let's go ahead, jump right into this. Some people have called this vaporware, but Verge and Hyperloop, for those who don't know, they were making inroads into possibly maybe trying to set up a Hyperloop, which was an idea put forward by, I believe, Elon Musk. He was the one who kind of made it popular. And where you would create these long tubes, either underground or above ground, and you would pull the air out of them, thereby lowering air friction, and you could then send things on a cart or some kind of cart system within the tubes, and you could get cars that could travel the speeds of airplanes. They would be on fixed tracks. It was almost like where a bullet train could get you 200-300 miles an hour. This could get you 700-800 miles an hour. Of course, the problems, the technical hurdles, the cost of investment, all of that far exceeded even the most advanced bullet trains in the world. And, well, looks like Verge and Hyperloop seems to be heading for a hyper crash, saying that they have fired 111 of its employees as it abandons the idea of making its system ready for passenger use. The Financial Times reporting that the company is exclusively focusing on moving cargo and has slashed almost half of its total workforce. Let me tell you, something that is supposed to be revolutionary and an entirely new form of transportation does not get off the ground with 100 employees. That is not a serious investment by this company. A spokesperson confirmed to the paper that the shift in business was taking place with supply chain issues and COVID contributing to the change. Anything other than pure mismanagement and flaws with the technology. Right? Right. Since its inception, the company has been developing a vacuum tube-based system, as we mentioned. So they mentioned that one of the ways was an inlet port in which cargo vessels could put containers onto capsules that are shot inland before they're processed. That way, the main logistics hub wouldn't need to be beside the sea and could instead be at the heart of a transit hub closer to customers. Makes sense. It's something that encouraged DP World, the Dubai-owned ports and logistics giant, to invest in the technology. It currently holds a majority stake in Verge and Hyperloop and has launched Cargo Speed. However, they've been in something of a spin for the last few months as former head Josh Geigel, one of the two people to actually travel in the pod, quit the company. So, yeah, not the best look. And I think there was another story, just kind of going over the financials of all this. Virgin Galactic, which is, kind of the Blue Origin SpaceX competitor, has lost about $1 billion as well as it struggles to find a holding. Honestly, maybe I'm just anti-billionaire, but whenever I see some of these billionaire flops, I'm actually all for that. These people need to, stop thinking so advanced and just kind of get back down to basics and what makes a good company. So, everyone, that was story number 2. Story number 3, parental discretion advised. If you have small children listening to the program, please escort them out and not into the metaverse. And, okay, so let me be clear here real quick. Angus Crawford and Tony Smith for BBC Tech, they need to be more upfront. I know it's in the article, I know it's in the writing, but the headline alone and the way they kind of talked about it, they are conflating the metaverse, which is Facebook and their application for, VR chatting, with a particular app available in Facebook's ecosystem. And really, it's open source, so anyone can open it through Steam, through through the Metaverse, through whatever app store. It's called VR Chat. VR Chat is much more established. There's a lot more assets. People have spent a lot of time making a lot of different things into VR Chat. So to say that Metaverse app allows kids into virtual strip clubs, Not so much. Like, technically, yes, because you can buy Facebook's Oculus Quest, download the app in their app store, and go into these things that are approved for kids. And, as in, like, VR chat is approved for kids. And then, of course, one of these places that you go to are really horrendous places for little kids. Let's face it, it's horrendous places for anyone, but more so for little kids. But it is not strictly the Metaverse. It is another app that I would say is one of the main competitors or, originators of the idea of the Metaverse. So this has to do with VR chat itself. Now, a researcher posing as a 13-year-old girl witnessed grooming, sexual material, racist insults, and threats in a virtual reality world. And the children's charity, this is the NSPCC, has said it was shocked and angry at the findings. Head of online child safety policy Andy Burrows added the investigation had found a toxic combination of risks. They mentioned that they're using an app with a minimum age rating of 13. So essentially the reporter is signing up as the minimum age and saying, I'm 13, I'm using this app. There you go. She was shown sexual material and approached by numerous adult men. The Metaverse we talked about the Metaverse. So they mentioned here, the app called VR Chat is an online virtual platform in which users can explore with 3D avatars. While it's not made by Facebook, it can be downloaded from the App Store with no age verification checks, the only requirement being a Facebook account. And by the way, children mix freely with adults because, at its heart, it is strictly a socializing environment. It's almost like just walking into a big blank space full of people. Now, people can create their own worlds. They can create their own avatars. They can create their own assets. They can create literally everything. It is a blank slate. And it would make a lot of sense that some of those blank slates happen to be really weird strip clubs. So there you go. And, it's a platform like any other. So they mentioned that, following the BBC News investigation, the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children said improvements in online safety are a matter of urgency. And they found what they found was extraordinary, quote unquote, children being exposed to entirely inappropriate, really incredibly harmful experiences. This is a product that is dangerous by design because of oversight and neglect. We are seeing products rolled out without any suggestion that safety has been considered. So I would definitely say that. So we're gonna go ahead and end that there. Go check out this article. They have videos. They have more examples of what they kind of found. They have stuff that we can't even show on stream. How kind of what is on here. There is a entire category on Twitch dedicated to VR chat. It's fairly popular. Admittedly, the streamers try their best to keep it, as normal as they can. But go give it a try for yourself. You can watch it. If you have a VR headset, you can go try it. Things need to be a bit more focused on kid safety if the app is 13 and under. I'm sorry, if it's 13 to 18, they need to be a bit more mindful of, kind of what happens there. I'm just saying, if I had a kid, I would not be comfortable with my kid going into VR chat alone. That one is very, very sus. Yes. Very sus. Okay. So there's that story. And again, a little misleading by the BBC because they're conflating VR chat and the Metaverse. I think that's a bad call, but still. Let's go ahead and just a continuation of what happened in our conversation with Scott Schober. Definitely check out that interview that we did here today. But cyber attacks bring down many Ukrainian websites. And they mention here that, we talked about the Department of Defense, we talked about different banking apps, but the outages are ongoing. They're saying that NetBlock's data indicates that impact began on Wednesday afternoon, intensifying in severity over the course of the day, saying Ukraine's military and banking websites have seen a more rapid recovery after today's cyber attack, likely due to preparedness and increased capacity to implement mitigations. Despite this, the incidents are ongoing, with latency and outages continuing at Security Service of Ukraine, which points to the severity of the incident. So even though they are trying their best to make sure this doesn't affect people, it's still ongoing. It's still going to be a problem. On Tuesday, the EU announced a cyber rapid response team was being deployed across Europe after a call for help from Ukraine. It is not known if the team of experts from 6 volunteer countries is helping to defend against this latest attack. I'm fairly sure that a task force like that is likely going to consist of government contractors that are very well versed in identifying cyber campaigns and maybe not mitigate them immediately, but to more, identify them and hopefully mitigate them as fast as they can. Is it going to be effective? Who knows? But they're trying, and good luck to Ukraine on that front. Now, how about this? A rumor, and then we'll end with a very funny story. But this next rumor should be short and sweet. Call of Duty, if you're a fan of the franchise, you have been spoiled for the past almost 2 decades, like the past 19 years, starting in 2004. There has been a new mainline Call of Duty title every year since 2004. It's been pretty good, Admittedly, there are some that are bad, there are some that are good. Say what you want, Modern Warfare 2 took up a lot of my life. But this next year coming up, either through COVID stresses, either through reorganization because Activision Blizzard was purchased by Microsoft, either through, whatever it may be, next year, Call of Duty will reportedly take a break. And that's a big deal because a lot of consoles out there have, they kind of depend on that revenue, on that yearly game that sells, tens of millions of copies. And, well, for the first time again in 2 decades, they might not do it. So we'll definitely see what happens. This is just a rumor, but yeah, they're supposedly this may be the year that they finally miss. For those who don't know, they usually have two different publishers, Treyarch, and let's see, the other one is, I guess, just Activision, usually work on 2 different ones. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be any new content because they still have Call of Duty Warzone. And on top of that, they have the new Black Ops coming out this year, and they have Warzone, which is the Battle Royale that will receive continuing updates. So they still have some content that will be new and different and fresh, but there won't be a new title game soon to be released. So there you have it. Marking of an era, 2 years or 2 decades. Okay, so that rumor and this next rumor, this one with Apple, saying that their AR VR headset, because we've heard rumors of Apple electric cars, we heard rumors of Apple televisions, and not just the little TVs but actual full-blown television sets. We've heard so many rumors of products. This one has moved into a phase that we haven't seen in a while, saying that their AR VR headset is not just a prototype and is set to ship in August or September of this year. The report claims that the headset will enter mass production in August or September, and that Apple is still targeting a 2022 launch for the product. Conflicting reports have emerged lately about the timing of the first mixed reality headset. Apple reportedly planned for a 2019 launch, but has delayed that multiple times, which is good. If the product is not done, then don't ship it. Component supply chain sources, like those cited by Digitimes, often do have some insight into what Apple is working on, but they also typically do not have the full picture. So what they mean there is that, think about the supply chain in China. Think about, hey, some random customer, they won't name names, some random customer just ordered 30 million cameras of this specification. Admittedly, the supplier will not release that that's Apple, but you can assume that, hey, that's probably Apple, and you can probably assume that, hey, this is when they need to buy, so you can kind of infer when their release date is going to be, and you can kind of infer this is, these 3 different cameras are going to be the 3 different cameras within the 3 different phones that Apple will likely put out. So while it's not a perfect press release, it's a very good indicator of when things are going to happen and what they're going to look like. So the first headset had been said to include very high-end specs like 4K displays, multiple accurate sensors, or silicon equivalent to the M1 Pro or M1 Max chips. The headset will likely be used for professional applications and help app developers begin the work on the sorts of immersive experiences that may attract users to mainline products down the road. So it sounds like the first ones are going to be for professional use, developer kits and things like that, and then the rest of us peasants will get a headset that is a bit more affordable. So I'm still looking forward to seeing what Apple will come out with. That sounds like a very cool proposition. Now, the last story we're going to have, and normally, I've been trying to work in some funny stories here at the end of shows. This one just tickled me so pink that, I can't help but end on it. The governor of Missouri tried to not arrest, but legally sue or file criminal charges. I guess that's the best way to say it. The governor of Missouri tried to file criminal charges against a journalist who published a finding that the teachers of Missouri had their information leaked on a website. So instead of going in this, trying to find, who's at fault here, why are these things not encrypted, what happened? Instead, he's like, this journalist, the mainstream media, darn them to heck. We're gonna throw the whole legal book at them, and we're gonna open up an investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce after a 6-month internal investigation, I think it started in October, they called for criminal charges against the reporter, and they found that no criminal charges will be filed. The whole thing will be closed. It's all done because they found that it was a bug, a security flaw that has existed since 2011, and actually there are other variations of this bug that went back to 2005 that had 576,000 teachers' social security numbers exposed because anyone could go onto the site, search any teacher, and all of that teacher's personal information would come up. There's no encryption, there's no password. Bam, it was all available right there. And that's what the reporter reported on. And yeah, it's just, no evidence or no estimation on how much this investigation cost into whether or not to jail this reporter. But man, the fact that you have someone coming out saying this is the problem, this is what happened, shame on the state, and the state says we're going to throw you in jail, and then waste 175 hours, 3 investigators, and who knows how much money investigating this thing. It's awful. So while the Post-Dispatch reported in October that the flaw exposed 100,000 social security numbers, it was apparently a lot more. And they said the total number would be approximately 576,000 social security numbers. That's what they found in the police report. So not only did the police report exonerate the reporter, it actually found that the leak was much, much worse. So they also said that the database, like other state computer services, is actually overseen by Parsons' Office of Administration, which the governor controls. So, wow. It even said that the governor himself was in charge of this colossal fuck up. So, things aren't looking good for him. So, attorney, investigation should never have happened, and clearly the governor was just using aspects of his office to pressure people into not talking about what he messed up. After the prosecutor closed the investigation without charges, Parsons' office continued to insist that they committed a crime, even though the prosecutor has elected not to press charges. And they're saying that the case closed, or the reporter saying that it's a relief, but that Parsons' high-profile threats of legal retribution against me in the newspaper likely will have a chilling effect, deterring people from reporting security or privacy flaws in Missouri and decreasing the chance that those flaws get fixed. Man, I don't know. There's just so much on here. Political implications aside, a security flaw that is 12 years in the making, hundreds of thousands at risk of having their identity stolen, and man, this bozo, I'm just going to use the harsh language, using the office that he's sitting in to just try to apply pressure so that it all goes away. It was just awful. So everyone, with that being said, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the program, and I hope that you had fun. Some fun stories in there, some very interesting ones. If you want to check out more, computeramerica.com is where you'll find everything, past shows, future shows, and yeah, of course, join us over at twitch.tv/computeramerica if you like to bother us in real time and in person. Until next time, everyone, have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.